we're seeing innovation around AI, automation, data and robotics converging.
I think it's going to be perhaps the biggest change in computing and user interface.
It's going to reshape how companies think.
And this is creating lots of exciting new possibilities.
I think it's a game changer.
Technology plays a fundamental part of every travel company now. Virgin's no different.
It's a really exciting moment in terms of generative AI, Copilot coming in. People are talking about it, focusing on it. I can see lots of potential. We've started off the pilot within the teams really focusing on technology, so using people within our own function, kind of safe space to test out the technology, get more of the teams involved in using it and just generate some more use cases that we can really start to test out and really see how we can start to be more efficient and change the game using AI.
We signed up for early access program. We were lucky to be part of the list and assigned the licenses for 300 users.
It's quite a nice prompts page here, so it gives you ideas of what to try in terms of your questions, and it gives you some tips as well about how to write good prompts.
So you've got to get the process right, specifically around Copilot. What I would recommend people to do is look at the data first within SharePoint, look at what you have within the Microsoft Office 365 domain. The second thing I do is also recommend people to start looking more about security principles up front. Then I would apply Copilot over the top of that to really start drawing some of the cool semantic things out of it, which is what Copilot does amazingly well.
I hadn't noticed how you could tailor it there, so that's a new feature.
Yeah, so if you click in the red, and you can just use this to kind of make it short, medium, long, more formal, casual.
Not knowing much about Copilot, we knew it was an AI assistant, but from deployment point of view, what it meant, from technology point of view, what challenges we may face. As part of that, we engaged very closely with Microsoft from day one. What is it that we have to prepare for? What is it that we have to plan for? What is the best way to create the personas? As well as that, we looked into the back-end side of it. Is our tenant ready? What do we have to do from our tenant level? From SharePoint side, what is it that we have to be mindful of? We are on Azure. Our documents are stored in OneDrive, but also we have SharePoint documents, so being in Azure will be absolutely helpful. I thought it was going to be more difficult to deploy, but engagement with Microsoft indexing service that started running at the tenant level was seamless to me, and deployment to the users is also seamless. In our position, I just wanted to make sure that we are in a good position, that we understand where we are with our data.
So I can just say, write a new clause related to data privacy.
Everything is remaining within an Azure environment. Based on the documents we've seen tick in the box, we haven't seen any surprises. The key factor here is we already have access to those documents. It's not as if going to change the permissions. However, what it illustrates is that if you have an area where you didn't think you have access to, it will show you those documents. The security aspect of it is fundamentally important from permission perspective, compliance to data protection. I'm really glad to see that Copilot is based on Microsoft's solid approach to compliance, privacy. Responsible AI is key here for us as well.
And we've got an ethical use policy. We'll have to have some security training. It's all going to roll in. I think in terms of getting it out to the enterprise, there's going to have to be some new ways of working for sure.
We're really interested to see how we could utilise it, how we could benefit from it, and hopefully make our lives easier in sense of how it can support us in doing our roles. And I think the biggest benefit is if we can get the technology, the machine learning, let the tools, let the platform, the machine learning do the work for us in that sense and allow us to bring that creative flair that hopefully sets Virgin Atlantic apart.
AI is a conjunction of computing power, big data, and pattern detection ML across the top of it. So it's only natural to assume that the more adoption you have in the enterprise, the more data you plug in, the bigger the pattern, the more patterns it can abstract from the data that you put in, the more beneficial the assistant will become in terms of providing you data. The expansion of Copilot to cover other data sets using, underpinned by Azure Databricks or something like that across the wider environment, I think is going to be really key. So it's going to be amazing over the next year. Looking forward to it.
It's really, really powerful. We're really happy to be working with Microsoft on this as a partner.
It's very successful and we feel like it's added a lot of value.
We've been finding the email generation tool really useful and interesting.
I see it as my virtual assistant.
I don't need to now read an ops report which is 3 pages long. It will give me the summary of what's red, what's green and what's broken and who's on it.